What's up, ladies and gentlemen? I'm here with Stone Cold RKO 512 to give some thoughts on recent things that have been happening in WWE. What's up, Steven?
What's up?
So, the first topic we're going to cover is the whole Zack Ryder bandwagon thing. People jumping off his bandwagon, people not being loyal fans anymore, all because now the guy has finally got himself over. People are starting to get fed up with him. I don't understand why. I mean, he's worked hard to get to where he's at. You know, he did what any other, person in his position should do, is try to get yourself noticed, any way you possibly can. Even if it is through YouTube, who cares? It works for him, right? And look at him now. He's featuring on SmackDown as the assistant general manager or something like that. And, he was in the main event on Monday Night Raw. And, people just, for some reason, getting bored of seeing him and, giving up on him and not being a fan anymore. And I don't understand that, because now that the guy is over, why are you guys going to go against him? If anything, you support him from the start. Why turn against him now that he's finally over? That's kind of like saying, what was the point in supporting him in the first place, right? What do you think of this, Steve?
Yeah, I totally agree, the whole thing. Because, what he was intentionally supposed to do was reach out to internet fans, because, he started out on YouTube to, and most people probably be like, oh, they just threw him out, threw us, in our face, basically. And, to say loyal, I haven't been loyal to, a lot of wrestlers before, but I eventually, I'm going to back it up. People jumped on, the CM Punk bandwagon, the Zack Ryder, but I just don't see, the thing, yeah.
I mean, I know for a fact you didn't jump on the CM Punk bandwagon, but obviously a lot of people have recently, because he's like the modern-day Austin, something similar to that at least. I'm not a fan of CM Punk. I respect CM Punk, but I'm not going to be a fan just because, he's doing all this major stuff, recently. But that about wraps it up for, us giving our opinions on Zack Ryder. Next person we want to move on to is Mason Ryan. Steve, do you think Mason Ryan eventually could be the next United States champion? And do you think he'd be credible as a United States champion?
Oh yeah, definitely. That's what they're pushing towards right now, is the United States championship. And Mason Ryan, you can already tell just with his physique that he's going to be big in WWE. That's just my thought. I already know that they're wanting to put him out there and get him out there. It doesn't even matter if you can do mic skills. He's decent in the ring and he's got the look.
Exactly. Yeah. He's got the build and the look, kind of what Batista had going for him. And I'm not going to keep comparing him to Batista, even though they call him Batista 2.0 or Batista Jr. or whatever you want to call him. Not everybody thinks he looks like Batista. I kind of still think he does look like Batista, but some other people say he looks like Steve Blackman and whatever. But hopefully he ends up being his own man, and hopefully he ends up, making a path of his own. And I think that he will go far, like Steven said, just for the simple fact that, he has a physique. He just looks like a powerhouse who would just, dominate the whole Raw roster. So I'm thinking that this guy's going to go far in WWE, and I definitely see him as the next United States champion. But, Mason Ryan, one of the future talents, he's still young. I think he's 29, 28, something like that, and he's still got a bright future. And just look at the guy. The guy looks like he could just, destroy everyone, pretty much. The next topic that I want to get onto is what was the other topic, Steve? Sorry. John Cena and The Rock. Sorry about that. See, there's my mistake right there. Off the top of my head. Cena and The Rock. Steve, do you think Cena and The Rock are gonna, bring in the ratings for Survivor Series? And do you think it's gonna obviously make Survivor Series a good pay-per-view? And do you see Cena and The Rock winning, as the tag team that they're featured in? Sorry.
Yeah, definitely. If I'm not correct, I think they said that Survivor Series sold out in 90 minutes within opening, for tickets. And because everybody that they said that The Rock was going to be a Survivor Series. And, John Cena confirmed it, that he's going to be his tag team partner. There's definitely going to be tension, Definitely people are going to be worried about, how is this going to be towards, because the most anticipated match, WrestleMania, both of them versus each other. They're going to be in the same ring, on the same team, so how they can work together, it's going to be good. It makes me want to buy the pay-per-view just for John Cena and The Rock teaming up,
I think the only doubt about it is, the whole hype surrounding The Rock going into WrestleMania 28. I think it kind of takes away a little bit of that, because you're going to see him basically before, WrestleMania, wrestling, a Survivor Series. But even then, I still think it's big. I think I think a benefit to it also is, rather than just, bring in The Rock for WrestleMania, obviously prepare him and get him used to being in that kind of moment again, like he was back in the day, being around loads of people and performing in front of them and wrestling and, basically getting a taste of the spotlight again. I think that will give him a lot of confidence going into WrestleMania for him to, put on hopefully a good match with John Cena. I presume they will, and I hope they will. So, I mean, personally, I'm not sure if their tag team's going to win. I hope their tag team wins. I hope they just put things aside and we see, Rock and Cena win. But something's telling me that he might, rock bottom Cena either during the match or after the match. So it could either be he could cost his team the victory, or they could win and Rock would lay the smackdown on Cena after the match. Or Cena can do it to The Rock. It doesn't really matter. I just see something happening. So, or if not, we'll get to see it at WrestleMania. But they're bound to do something beforehand. That's what I'm thinking. The last thing we want to cover is Kevin Nash. Him and Triple H having a feud. I think it's going to be epic. Kevin Nash is looking better than ever, in my opinion. A lot of people are bitching because he's old and they think he can't go in the ring and stuff like that, but I totally disagree. If you saw the way Kevin Nash manhandled Triple H when he was on that stretcher, you could see the guy's still got a heck of a lot of strength. The guy's still in good shape. Even like Vengeance when he gave Triple H that that jackknife powerbomb, how lethal was that, right? So Steve, what do you think of this feud between Triple H and Kevin Nash?
Just like you said, I think it's going to be epic. Like I'm definitely looking forward to it. And I know Kevin Nash recently, I think they said that he's expected. He can wrestle now, because before he couldn't wrestle because he was supposed to wrestle with CM Punk, which CM Punk would have won anyways. But I can't wait for them. If they should have a match, and if they don't, that's just stupid. But yeah, definitely. And that whole the stretcher thing brought me back to like the Attitude Days, in my opinion, though, when I was watching it, live.
I kind of got a bit of that hint as well. Like, it kind of reminded you of the Attitude Era a little bit, like when Triple H and Kevin Nash were backstage, and Kevin Nash was pretty much just kicking the crap out of Triple H. He hit him in the back with a sledgehammer, and then as Triple H was getting taken off in the stretcher going to the hospital, Kevin Nash scared away the doctors and the security guards and whatever, and he just pretty much hit Triple H again with the sledgehammer whilst he was on the stretcher. So it was pretty intense, pretty cool stuff, and I can't wait to see what happens with this feud, as I'm sure everybody else is interested too. And I think it's going to be interesting, even though we've seen it before. I think it'll be even better this time because it seems to be really personal already. So I can't even imagine what else they're going to do. Hopefully we see some blood, and all kinds of stuff. What do you think, Steve? Think it's going to be a good match and a good feud?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a good match and a good feud. That was definitely a great build up for it. And everything, because Kevin Nash was fired and Kevin Nash beat the shit out of Triple H. Like, it is personal. Like, it's a really good storyline, I think. And it's going to go pretty far. Yeah. I think there's been talks of bringing in Sean Waltman for this thing, so that would be pretty cool to see that too. So you never know.
Sean Waltman did get mentioned, so it wouldn't surprise me. But mind you, they mentioned ROH and nothing happened there, even though we kind of jumped shift and straight away thought that there's going to be an ROH invasion. It was still possible. I mean, you couldn't doubt us. It was a genius idea, but it just, we're never going to see that happen by the looks of it. But it was just a thought, I mean, I'm no expert in either, Steve, so I mean, it's just something that we just thought could have happened if it was possible, or some kind of ROH stable was going to be in WWE. But we might see a reformation of some form of NWO. You never know. You might even see Scott Hall in the future. Make his presence in WWE if he sorts himself out. I hope to see that as well. Don't you think Scott Hall would be pretty decent to be seen again in WWE, Steve?
Yeah, definitely. I would love to see him again.
Yeah, definitely. But guys, let us know what you thought of the topics that we covered. Don't forget to rate this video. Subscribe to World Nation Wrestling. Subscribe to Stone Cold RKO 512. Subscribe to myself, DashingKevinWalsh. Leave a comment. Do a video response. All that good stuff. Steve, anything you want to add?
Yeesh.
There you go. Yeesh. Peace.
Peace.